Good evening to those of you who are watching the replay. Just bear with me if you're watching the replay or fast forward. Gonna wait for everybody to begin to come in. Seems like it's been forever since I have been on Facebook Live, but last Monday was Memorial Day. Hey, Pastor Prophet LaShonda Jones, the Marriage Remix people. How y'all doing? How is it going with y'all trainer? I know y'all had a trainer at one period of time. So just give us some time to build our audience, and we're going to hang out for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Talk about something that's very common to a lot of people. Hey, Miss Gwendolyn, how are you? Colleen Dean, what's up, Colleen? Yes, you are an empty nester now. Your only child is graduated from the University of Florida, and he is headed off somewhere else now for training, right? He's a pilot now. So excited about that. I saw that. I want one of those still customized art things that your husband does, Colleen. I want one of those. Anyway. Alrighty. Hey, Miss Deborah, how are you? As you're coming in, share me. Tonight we're going to talk about Meal Prep Monday. It is, and we're going to focus on meal prepping as it relates. God bless you too, Miss Gwen. And we're going to talk about meal prepping as it relates to energy levels, meal prepping as it relates to fatigue and fatigue syndromes, and the things that cause that. So Meal Prep Monday is brought to you by Jules Wellness Concepts and myself, Latanya C. Smith, nurse for over 23 years and certified health coach for 5 years with Jules Wellness Concepts, where we take your flat line and turn it into a lifeline. And so Meal Prep Monday is geared towards really assisting you to be able to determine what it is that you're prepping. What is it that you're putting in those plastic containers or metal containers, glass containers, whatever you're using, or whatever you're putting on your plate. I tell everybody I'm not a person that really meal preps all at one time, because I don't really eat the same thing every day. I get food boredom really. Hey, Miss Kim, I get food boredom really easily. So, but I do plan out what I'm going to cook in a particular week, or what I'm going to prepare. I know what I'm going to have for breakfast Monday through Friday. How's your grandson doing? The one that just turned 1 with his cute self. And I know what I'm gonna do for breakfast. Hey, Miss Lisa, I know what I'm going to do for breakfast. Miss Lisa, you got your husband to walk in your booth thing. I saw that. And I know what I'm going to eat for breakfast. I have an idea of what I'm going to do for lunch, and definitely know what everybody going to do for dinner. So that's my meal prepping, but I really don't get into the place of trying to, prep it all at one time and put it in containers. But for those of you who have a problem with time management, that is a good thing. A few weeks ago, I did meal prep some stuff for breakfast, and awesome stuff. 3 miles, that's what's up. I will do that because now my son is home from Lord, he ain't walking. My oldest son was like that. That boy didn't walk until he was like 14 months old, 16 months old, or something like that. So as you're coming in, share me. We're going to go ahead and get started, because I appreciate those of you who have already come in, and I don't want to prolong the time. But I am going to probably meal prep a lot of breakfast stuff, because I have athletes. So my son is, he's in school, he plays football on a collegiate level. And then my baby girl, she runs track and does soccer. And so with them really training, during the summer, breakfast is really important. And so I'm probably going to be meal prepping a lot for breakfast, like doing some yogurt parfaits, doing some chia pudding, chocolate chia pudding, mango peach chia pudding, some things like that. And then I just make sure that certain things are available for them for lunch, because they on their own. And then dinner time comes. So tonight I want to talk about fatigue. And so when I was working as a nurse, usually in every gamut of whatever type of nursing profession or medical profession that you go into, usually you're going to always deal with people who have an issue with fatigue and energy levels. Most of us have two lulls in the day. Usually it's after lunchtime, but the reason that is hey Derek, and usually that is because of what we eat. So most of us have a lull there for lunchtime. That's because of certain types of carbs we eat, or certain things that we eat that cause our blood sugar to kind of dip, and rather than eating something that will cause it to just kind of level itself out and move forward. So there are different reasons why we deal with fatigue. Hey, Centauria, there are different reasons why we deal with fatigue. Some of them are because of, certain disease processes that are going on in our body. So the last 8 years of my public or secular nursing career, I was at Lakeland Regional Cancer Center. So of course, dealing with oncology, we deal with people who, have low blood levels, whether it's white blood cells or red blood cells, because of the fact of doing chemo treatments or radiation treatments, or just recovering and going from survivorship to thrivership. And then we have some people who have severe anemia, or some people who are having issues because they're like the one with the issue of blood. They're bleeding a lot. They have heavy uterine dysfunctional uterine bleeding, or excessive uterine bleeding, which causes for the hemoglobin level to be low, and then hence you get fatigue. And then there are some of us that deal with fatigue syndrome and also fibromyalgia syndrome as well, that will cause for us to have severe energy deficits also. And then we have those of us who are B6 deficient or B12 deficient, and have pernicious anemia, which means that your gut does not have the ability, your gut is doing something funky with your vitamins in your stomach, and therefore you're not really absorbing the B12, the B nutrients that you need to keep from that. But whatever the case it is, hey Veronica, whatever the case it is, I want us to have a conversation about what you can do during the week with your meals that will help you to feel better. Studies have shown that about 50% of adults actually go to the doctor because of energy levels. So if you are one of those people, that means that half of you probably on this Facebook Live, and those of you who will watch the replay, that 50% of you have an issue with fatigue, to the point so much where it's almost rendering you dysfunctional or unable to function and perform your daily ADLs. And so I want for you to, y'all know me, I always take notes because I want to take notes because I want to give you the best of what I have, even though a lot of this stuff is natural for me. So one of the key things that if you want to really improve your fatigue levels and improve your energy levels, I can't stress enough to you about sugar. Deleting sugar from your diet, especially white sugar from your diet, and even looking in moderation at how you use honey, agave, maple syrup, how you use stevia, monk fruit, and the natural sweeteners, and looking at how you do that. But sugars is a big no-no, especially for those of you who are pre-diabetic, borderline diabetic, because what happens when you're craving sugar, the reason why you're craving sugar is because your blood sugar level has dipped. So you crave the sugar naturally to get the blood sugar back up so that you can have a high and you can feel well. Well, hey Rhonda, so unfortunately what happens, it puts you on a vicious cycle of always craving sugar and then crashing because sugar doesn't have the ability to sustain you. So one of the things that you want to do, hey Marsha, one of the things that you want to do is to sustain your energy levels is what I suggest is to all of my clients that I have is that brown rice needs to become a staple in your pantry, and brown rice needs to become something that you eat at least 3 times a week, whether for lunch or whether for dinner, because brown rice, what it does is it actually your biggest challenge is sweets, and so many more of my other clients, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But what brown rice does is it has the ability to cause for your blood sugars to be stable and for them not to spike. When you're eating white rice and things that are white, that are enriched, what happens is all of that still converts back to sugar. So what happens with the brown rice, it has the ability to stabilize those blood sugars so that you don't get that spike, you don't get that up and down. A lot of people don't like the brown rice because it's bland, but the truth be told, white rice is bland too. white rice don't have no taste either. So I get a lot of people like, well, I don't like brown rice because it don't taste like nothing. Well, you know what? White rice don't taste like nothing either. So it's just a matter of tomato to me. But the brown rice actually has nutritive value that actually, Miss Pastor T, but it has nutritive value that helps to stabilize the blood sugar. So that's one thing that you want to be able to do to keep that. Hey, Aisha, Lady Aisha, that's one thing that you want to do to be able to help with the fatigue, especially during lunchtime. So if you're going to go to Chinese restaurant or you're going to go somewhere like that, you want to get brown rice. If you made leftovers from the night before with brown rice, take that for lunch. Get that out of the kitchen. Take it for lunch and eat that so that you're not breaking down after lunchtime with that. But sugar is, for most of you, Lady Lisa said sweets is her problem. So many people problem is sweets, but the real deal is with the sweets you're on a dangerous roller coaster ride with the sweets. You are craving the sweets because you need that blood sugar spike. You're craving the sweets because you need, hey D, you're craving the sweets. Let's see, Miss Gwen, yeah, you could do jasmine rice, because actually I do jasmine rice. So you could do jasmine rice, brown rice, you could do couscous, you could do quinoa, you could do those things. There's some other things that I really don't care for is millet and barley and all that kind of stuff. I shouldn't turn my face up like that, but I'm very expressive with my face. But yes, you could do quinoa. I do jasmine rice, brown rice, couscous, and other things that you could do as well. Yes, the more you eat them, the more you crave it. Yes, and that's right, Kim. So with the sugar, the more you eat the sugar, the more you crave it, because now the body has a natural chemical response to that when you eat the sugar, it knows that I'm going to get this temporary high to be able to get me to work the rest of the day, to be able to get me home. But chances are, usually what happens by the time you get home at 5 or 6 o'clock, you ready to crash, but you still got 4 more hours of work to do. Whether you're a college, like Kim is going back to school, I'm getting ready to go back to school. So whether you're a college student and working full time, now you got to come home, think about what you're preparing for dinner, and then you might have to go take a night class, or you may have homework. You may still have kids in your house. You may have soccer practice like I do. You may have track practice like I do. So you may have those different things that's going on. So you cannot afford to be tired. So let's get into some of the remedies that you can do for helping you with this fatigue. We said one was brown rice at least 3 times a week, especially if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic. We said number 2, we're going to have to deal with those sugar cravings. So some of the things with the sugar cravings is some people can go cold turkey. The other thing is, like, if you're a juice drinker, you really should only be drinking like 6 to 8 ounces of juice a day. But what you can do is you can dilute that half and half to do that. Another thing with getting rid of sugar cravings is you probably have a yeast problem in your gut when you crave sugar like that. And usually it's the yeast that's in your gut that's caused, it's like thrush. If you could think of when the babies have thrush in their mouth, used to old school thrush in their mouth. If you can imagine you have thrush in your gut, and that thrush, that yeast wants to be fed. So it causes you to crave the sugar. So you could have a yeast problem and you need a yeast detox. That's why it is beneficial for you to periodically, I recommend every 3 to 4 months, really quarterly, going on some type of detox, intentional detox. I recommend doing warm lemon water every day, 8 to 16 ounces. But however, you need to also go on an intense detox, because what happens is that detox gives you the ability to reset those taste buds from that sugar. Now, it's a beast. Hey, Teresa, it's a beast. You got to get through it. But, for those of you who are faith-based, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. It's amazing to me for those of us who are faith-based who will allow our plate to whoop us. So if you had joined me, yes, is it true that parasites can make you crave sugars? Yes, they can. You can have parasites to make you crave sugars. That's why a lot of times when you go on a detox or you go on a cleanse, that's why a lot of times you pass the parasites, because the parasites are no longer being fed and they die. And you're cleansing out your gut as well. So it's amazing to me, you know, if you watch my episodes, Don't More Stop Church Fat and Help the Preacher Preach, that I talk about that. It's amazing to me, those of us who are faith-based, that we have a real issue with being able to overcome sugar, or we have a real issue with being able to overcome some of the addictions that we have. And, you know, that's amazing to me. And it actually is, hey Sharon, it's truly been an eye-opener for me. So let's look at this. Let's look at some things. So we said brown rice was one. We got to deal with our sugar addictions that may be related to a overgrowth or proliferation of yeast, in which we need to do a yeast detox, or keep. What's the best detox to use? Hey Kim, usually Kim, like the trainer that I use for my business, Tanika uses pills. She has pills that she uses that she does detox. My first line of defense, Kim, for detox is like I said, doing the 8 to 16 ounces of warm lemon water every day. Also the ACV water, which is the apple cider vinegar with the cinnamon and lemon, which I'm going to get into now. Hey Marva, I recommend that. And then as far as the best I recommend that to start off with. I like doing whole foods detox, where you're going to get rid of all the sugars and you're going to get rid of that. And I'm going to tell you why I like to start with food before. Hey Nessie, I like to start with food before I get into pills and all this other kind of stuff, because this is the case in point. A lot of times we're doing a lot of stuff when it comes to our health, but if you don't take the time to detox your mouth, your taste buds, if you don't take the time to detox that gut and those intestines, then oftentimes you just really in a catch-22 situation. So you really got to start dealing with that gut. You really got to start dealing with changing the lifestyle and the habit with the detox, with the whole foods first, and with the food. That is the first line of defense. Then now you can come in and go get some of the things from GNC that they recommend for detox and all that kind of stuff, or whatever. Even with vitamins, a lot of you probably take vitamins, a lot of you probably take supplements, but you're not going to get the full effect and the full benefit of the vitamins and the supplements if your stomach got too much junk in it. Do you not know that your intestines can hold up to 10, 15, 20 pounds of feces? You can have 10 to 15 pounds of excrement in your stomach, in your intestines. How about that? Got to remember that your intestines can stretch out on a portion of a football field. So it's hard to imagine that you have that your intestines are that long and you have that much of intestine on the inside of you. That's why. And then you got to realize that intestines have the capacity. Hey, Deidre, have the capacity to hold a lot of water. Hey, Nurse Ann. Nurse Ann probably can chime in too. She actually has something that she uses that's very beneficial. It's called Thrive. Yes, colon cleanse is a good thing to do. Called Thrive. If you can afford to, go get a colonic done, where they put the tube up there and they rinse you on that. But Anne Marie Hall is a nurse. You can look her up. She's on Facebook. She has these patches that they're called Thrive. They're what we as nurses what we call transdermal, and you receive your vitamins and your nutrients transdermally. That's another way to be able to get your energy levels up. That's another way to be able to get more from the day. You get colonics, very good. I've never gotten one, but very good. I need to find somebody in this area that does one. The closest colonic I got was when I had a colonoscopy. I had a problem with my stomach. That's the closest one I got. So, hey, me. So, those are some things that you need to do. The other thing that we need to look at is how much sleep are you getting? How much sleep are you getting, and do you sleep well? How much sleep are you getting, and do you sleep well? I got to do better with my sleep. I was monitoring my sleep today through my little Fitbit situation, and they say on average I get 4.5 hours of sleep. So I got to do better, because wow, is that why my stomach is swollen? Well, it looks swollen, but my doctor says I just need a tummy tuck. Santoria, have you had like multiple abdominal surgeries like me? I have 4 kids, so I've had C-sections, and then I've had a hysterectomy, so 5 stomach surgeries or whatever. But you know, but that could be it. Don't sleep well at all. Yes, and it could be why you're swollen. It could be a yeast problem, but it could be very well that you got a detox and you might have some extra, you know, content in there, some extra material in there that we need to get rid of. So that could be very true. Let's look at, I want a tummy tuck too, but I don't want to give nobody $12,000 to do it. So that's that. Yes, and we need, Deborah, you have to do better with your sleep. You don't sleep well at all. So let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to deal with why you're not sleeping and how to get you to sleep. Okay. So, thank you, Miss Jackie. So, some healing foods for fatigue. Notice I said healing foods. Understand this, that medicines that you take for any type of disease process, they will never tell you that they can heal anything. They can only tell you that they can cure it. They're curative measures. And when they mean curative measures, that means that they are only curing your symptoms. They're not dealing with the root cause of why you have diabetes. Why is your body not producing enough insulin? And in one type of diabetes, it is because your body is actually producing insulin, but it just does not have the ability to deal with where the insulin needs to go. It doesn't process it correctly. So remember, we're talking about the body being healed, because the body can heal itself when we give it the opportunity with the right things. So some healing foods are cinnamon and ginger. And actually, I saw a recipe today for cinnamon chicken. Whether I'm going to try it or not, I don't know, but they said it's delicious. So I saw a recipe today for cinnamon chicken. But these are 2 things that are actually healing foods for fatigue. So cinnamon is very energizing because it actually has something naturally that actually causes for you to have a lot of energy. Ginger is also a fatigue fighting element as well. So what you can do with the cinnamon, some of you I'm sure have tried this years ago. It was on the market. They called it the Master Cleanse. You could do it now. Matter of fact, Bragg's vinegar, they actually pre-make it now, where you can get the apple cider vinegar with the cinnamon in it already. Hey, Mama Valora, how you doing? How are you feeling? So you can actually get the apple cider vinegar already pre-made for you with the cinnamon in it. So I've been trying it, and actually I've been doing very well with it. So, and it's actually pretty refreshing with the proportions of everything that they do. And I found it at Publix. So I think we talked about this one of our other sessions about finding this, because somebody was saying they can barely keep it on the shelves. The other thing that helps with fatigue as well is ginger. Fights fatigue. So what I like to do with ginger is, no, Kim, you can purchase it in the store. Publix has it. So you can purchase it in the store. Go on the aisle where they have the Gatorade and the Gatorade and the fruit juice and all of that kind of stuff. It's the 100% juice. It's on that aisle there and every Publix that I have been in. So you can find it there. Okay, ginger. Also on that same aisle, there's a brand called Purity, P-U-R-I-T-Y, and they actually do a ginger lemon drink that I love. And usually I always have one here, but I don't have one today. But they do a ginger drink that I love, and ginger actually will help you with your fatigue. I don't know, Nessie, you got to check. If not, you're going to have to make your own, boo-boo kitty. But anyway, so the ginger is very good too, to be able to help that. So you can mix a drink with cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, peppermint, and spearmint, and that will help you as well. Speaking of peppermint and spearmint, another thing that you could do as well, for those of you who know that I love essential oils, cinnamon tablet given to diabetic to reduce sugar. Yes, ma'am. Another thing that you could do too is essential oils. Essential oils, usually I have lemon here, peppermint, spearmint, I have lavender, I have different blends that they make, purification. Not to change the subject, you mentioned you had stomach problems. Did the doctor find anything? Been having stomach problems for 4 years, over endoscopy, and have found nothing? Answer when you can. For sure, Jackie. Let me get this thought out, and I'll come back to that. They will order you Okay, yes, Deetra Holden, who lives in Sebring, Florida, Highlands County, she said Publix will order it for you. Actually, her husband worked for Publix. I don't know if Ronnie has retired, so she would be the best one on here to be able to tell you what Publix will and will not do, but they will order it for you. So with essential oils, for those of you who sometimes after lunchtime you just need a pick-me-up. Sometimes in the morning, I don't care who you are. It's just hard for you to get these brain cells together. It's hard for you to get it together. What I like about essential oils is it can be good for you. It's good for your kids, your grandkids, your husband. It's good for everybody in the house. You know, I have one, honey. That girl, there is something else about them sheets. Hard to let those sheets go. But you can put the oil in your hand and you can cup it and you smell it, and it's really, really good. They even have now what you can put diffusers in your in your car and your car charger and infuse your car and traveling. They even have jump drives now that you can put drops of oil on now. So while you're working at your laptop, your computer, you can be infusing your essential oils. Essential oils, I believe, are God's divine way of healing our bodies. I believe that unequivocally. I believe when Adam was in the garden, I believe that is one of the things that he relied on for his immortality before he and Eve sinned in the garden. You know, I believe with all of the fruit, I believe with all the vegetation that was in the garden, I believe that was what was causing for him to be healed. So essential oils to help you to, you know, especially citrus oils will help you to really do that. And essential oils are the only thing that the molecules are small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier. Yes, I have 2 diffusers and I need to get like 3 more, but they're the smallest things. And what essential oils do, they literally go in and raise your body frequency. So because it raises your body frequency, so then your immunity can be raised. Once your body frequency dips to a certain level, your immunity is compromised, and then that's where cancer can come in. That's where you know, certain disease processes can come in. The cold, the flu, cancer, tuberculosis, asthma, different things come in. So essential oils. So one, we said to boost our energy levels. Any suggestions for the oils? For oils, I like a lot of blends, but it depends on what you're doing. If it's evening time and you want your whole house to relax, it's gonna be, you know, things like lavender. But if it's the morning time and you want everybody to get up and be bubbly, you're gonna do some zest things. So you're gonna do like lemon, you're gonna do grapefruit, you're going to do orange. You're going to do those things that will wake you up in the morning. If you're a teacher or a mom, or you have someone in your house that has ADD, ADHD, or if you just have kids and you want to make sure that they're functioning to their strongest mental capacity, one of the things that you could do as well is something that's called vetiver. Hey Marlo, good to see you. Vetiver, VETIVER, and peppermint. It has been proven, studies have been proven that when teachers put these oils and diffusers in their classrooms, even all the way up to a collegiate level, that the kids are testing out at 25% to 30% higher test rates in their classes. So I actually am planning on sometime during the summer running a special for those who are teachers for their classrooms, because it's going to help their students to test better and to focus better, and then it's going to decrease those behavior problems in the classroom because now they're more focused, and it's also going to help with the immunity in the classroom because of all of the bugs that these kids bring in from all these different places. So that's going to help, and it's going to help with their energy level as well. Because some kids may have not eaten the night before. Some kids might be in environments they're not sleeping well. So those oils really will help. And maybe what I'll do is, who asked me that? Rhonda, what I'll do is, let me write myself a note. I'll write myself a note to do a list of oils, and I'll do that for Focus Friday. Focus Friday, good oils to use for what? Okay. So Rhonda, and when I do that, I'll tag you in there. So Focus Friday, look out for essential oil listing and blends with what will be good for what, and do that. And then I am a essential oils distributor for Young Living. So okay, Rhonda, Jackie, I'll tag. Make sure I tag y'all for your Young Living. And I can get those oils for you, or you can become a distributor and then you get your own oils for like 40% off or whatever the case may be. Anywho, so then Marlo will do. So then somebody asked me about what did I do with my stomach issue. So we all over the place tonight, but it's okay. Because if your stomach messed up, you ain't got no energy and you don't feel good. So the thing with my stomach is that I had irritable bowel syndrome. And so I was a nurse in the OR. And I worked in the cath lab as a scrub tech and doing, pacemakers, defibrillators. We did EP studies where we would have to trace arrhythmias for aberrant activity. And then we did cath labs where we put stents in the heart or we checked for blockages or whatever the case may be. So here it is, somebody, me, myself, who I had to stand up in the cath lab all day, but it took me 30 minutes to get to work. Every morning. So within 30 minutes, I would have had to hit 4 or 5 bathrooms, and I have a bathroom phobia. So imagine how traumatized I was having a bathroom phobia, and then now I got to go in these people's bathroom, but my bowels was just jacked up. Imagine having to stand in a particular cath lab study for maybe 2 or 3 hours, or be in a crisis situation within somebody's heart. Hey, Prophetess Allison, and you got to go to the bathroom. Imagine that. So very challenging. So for me, same thing. I had the colonoscopy done, did all of that different stuff, and they did not find anything as well with me with the irritable bowel syndrome. So what I had to do was I had to start healing my own gut. So what I did was I increased whole grains. I started loving oatmeal. Yes, I increased, yes, she is Rhonda. I increased, my whole grains. I started loving oatmeal. I cut back on meat protein. I've never really been a big meat eater anyway. I cut back on meat protein, things that are fermented, like fermented food. So I've always liked sour food, didn't know why, but fermented foods heal the stomach as well. So things like sauerkraut, trying to think of some other stuff. Sauerkraut, kombucha, KOMBUCHA, kefir, KEIFIR. So it's just a lot of things that you really have to learn to acquire a taste for to be able to heal your stomach. Another thing that heals, I had ulcers. I started having ulcers when I was like 13, 16 years old. So a lot of things like goat milk in the can, the goat milk, and that's an old school remedy. Goat milk actually helps to heal ulcers in the stomach as well. And it's okay. If you find yourself with some goat milk that you can't stand to drink, you don't need to drink it anyway, because that's probably goat milk from a billy goat. And they eat everything because they wild, and that's why their milk smell horrible. So, but goat milk, I went through years of goat milk. Yes, kombucha. So those are the things that you want to look at. So kombucha is something for irritable bowel syndrome. Goat milk is something for irritable bowel syndrome. You want to increase grains. You want to increase fiber in the diet for irritable bowel syndrome. And another thing with irritable bowel syndrome as well is stress factors. Child, when I was in that OR and I had to be on call, girl, it was good money, made thousands of dollars. But baby, that stress when you are on call, that stress with dealing with that type of surgery, dealing with heart surgery and thoracic surgery, that was a whole nother level, a whole nother realm of stress. So it did not help my stomach. And actually, once I left cardiac care, in the surgery and all that kind of stuff, actually my stomach really improved. And honestly, I had not had a problem with IBS since then. Truthfully, but I had dealt with IBS for a very long time, even before I started working in the cath lab. But once I got out of there, it was that. So, Rhonda, I really would be challenged to look at some key factors with any type of post-traumatic stress disorders, any type of traumatic stressors that she may be having that's causing the irritable bowel syndrome as well. With that, but definitely let's minimize the meat protein. Let's increase the leafy greens, not leafy greens such as collard greens, Swiss chard, spinach. Let's increase those. Let's get see if she can tolerate the goat milk. Also something called bone broth as well, if you can stand it. It has a certain odor to it, a certain taste, but it is what it is. And let's see if we can get that done, and then let me know how she's doing. Okay, some other things that increase energy as well is cruciferous vegetables, which is the cauliflower and things like the broccoli, cruciferous vegetables, also watercress and spinach, cabbage are things that what we call cruciferous vegetables, and those are the things that also will help to increase your energy level for chronic fatigue, because these particular vegetables supply you with B vitamins, especially B6, so they help to increase that. Avocados and bananas. So I know for some people tell y'all don't eat bananas because they help you gain weight or whatever. Well, I'm coming to find out about this diet. As you all are noticing, that health is a trend. One day you can eat this, and the next day you can't eat that. One year they say eat this, and the next year they say they don't eat that. But I believe all things are good for us to eat, but I do believe that there are some specific things that need to happen for some of us, because we are what you call bio individual. What Rhonda's daughter can eat, even though we've had the same situation, or had the same situation at IBS, what she can eat, I might not be able to eat, and what I can eat, she might not be able to eat, and vice versa. But usually there's still some similarities in what can get us healed. Yes, I fall in love with broccoli and cauliflower medley, and that is very good, because those are cruciferous vegetables that should be helping you with your energy level. Okay, the next thing that helps to increase the energy level is fish, because of the omega-3 fatty acids that are found in the fish, like salmon, and they're able to help to reduce fatigue. If you have Apostle Joe, if you have chronic fatigue, you probably would want to eat several servings of fish weekly. And also walnuts and flaxseed are also good sources of omega-3s, and they will also help you to increase your energy level. So with the walnuts, you can take the walnuts and use those for a snack. So rather than you going to get a bag of chips for a snack after lunch or before lunch, keep some walnuts in your little drawer, so that way you can go ahead and keep your energy level, because what those walnuts are doing is giving you something filling in your stomach, but it's also causing for that blood sugar to maintain, so that blood sugar don't dip. You understand what I'm saying? So it can keep you level. So go buy you some walnuts. Flaxseed, you can get flaxseed ground. So for those of you who like to do smoothies in the morning, or you like to do juicing, you could take flaxseed and you could put the flaxseed in your smoothies or your juicing, or you can actually take the flaxseed and sprinkle it on the salad if you want to do that as well, to help with the energy levels. Garlic, I love garlic. I put garlic in everything. So garlic can help you endure longer bouts of exercise. It also helps reduce symptoms of fatigue and symptoms of fatigue due to cold. Yes, Pamela, awesome in the smoothie. Good stuff. I'm assuming you've tried it. You can add garlic to your foods. You can chop it up and you can sprinkle it. Now this suggestion here talking about sprinkle it on some toast with some margarine. But I guess that's like a garlic spread. Y'all hear the little puppy barking in the back. He wants some attention because he don't like nobody talking. Another thing is mustard greens for the increase of energy, but collard greens and turnip greens will actually do just as well to help you to increase your energy also. Citrus fruits will help you to also increase your energy level as well. So but the only thing if you're diabetic, you got to be careful about how much fresh fruit you're taking in, because of the natural sugar. Everything go back to sugar. Milk got lactose, fruit got fructose. So so everything kind of go back to sugar. So when you're diabetic, you still have to be careful about the amount of sugar that you're eating, or eating and drinking as well, because the citrus has the vitamin C in it. I talked to you about before oatmeal. Oatmeal also helps to increase the energy level as well. One of the things that I want you to understand too about iron, and we were talking about sleep, is this, that oftentimes, in order to get better sleep, you need to be exercising during the day. And the challenge with that is that exercising will help you sleep better, and exercising actually will help increase will help to give you a higher energy level and decrease the fatigue that you have. So it's kind of difficult because I'm tired and I don't want to exercise. But you need to exercise. Because what happens is, with the 40 Days of Wellness Transformation Challenge that we're in, and I think today we're like on day 29 today, so we only have like 11 more days to go. The first testimonials that I had from the 40 Days of Wellness Transformation Challenge was they were sleeping better. And because they were sleeping better, they have been losing weight and they have been losing the inches. And because they're sleeping better, they got a better outlook and they got more energy in the daytime. So when you have good workouts, or you're getting your daily steps in of at least 10,000 steps, it will cause for you to sleep better. When you sleep better, you're able to release the weight. Why? Because now you got energy to be able to do some things. You got energy to be able to move. But also your body is responding to that on a cellular level as well. My thing is about being healed on the cellular level. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get to a place. This is the thing that we learned during the 40 Days of Transformation. My crew did not realize how inactive they were. When we first started monitoring steps, they was doing like 1,200 steps a day, 1,300 steps a day, because they really didn't realize how inactive they were. And some of you really don't realize how inactive you are. And so when you lead a sedentary life, it causes for you to feel tired. It causes for you to feel sluggish. It causes for you to be lethargic. So what they found, and what we've all found, is if you're going to get 10,000 steps in a day, unless you are a nurse, and unless you are a floor nurse or floor physician, somebody in construction, somebody who you're constantly walking, you're not gonna get 10,000 steps in a day. You're gonna have to be intentional about those 10,000 steps. Some of you are gonna have to be intentional about your 10,000 steps, and you're also gonna have to be intentional about your workouts, so that now you can get better sleep. But also, what happens when you're doing your workouts, you know why you get energy? There's something called tryptophan. And so when you, I like to say some of us are tryptophan Christians. But anyway, that's another day. And this ain't no preach today. So what happens with tryptophan is, if you can hang on and work out, get up every 30 minutes, walk in your lunch break. Correct, Tiffany. With tryptophan, it is released after you work out for a certain amount of minutes. So if you can work out for at least about 15 minutes, and if you can hang in for 15, 17 minutes, then what happens is that the body releases something called tryptophan. And then the tryptophan kicks in, and it remains in your system for about 2 hours after your workout to be able to give you the energy to complete the workout. But it gives you this euphoric sense. That's why I say we got tryptophan Christians. We go praise God, and we go shout, and we do all of this stuff, and we release the tryptophan, and we good for 2 hours. And then when Monday come, back to cussing folk out. Monday come, we back to being ugly. Monday come, we back to not knowing what God gonna do and if he can do it. So that's why I say sometimes we got tryptophan Christians. But anyway, so what happens is, when you're doing the workout, it releases the tryptophan. You got to be able to do that. But not only that, it releases some things called dopamine and serotonin in the body, which are reward hormones. And yes, what I say, listen, Allison, don't start none, don't be none. So what happens is, releases those hormones, and it gives you now you on this high. Now you can go cook. Now you can go clean. I'm telling you, and I feel like fatigue is something else, especially when you're married, because if you tired, you can't perform in the bedroom. If you're tired, I'm a living witness of that. You don't feel like all that. You done worked all day. You done used like me. I use my mind a lot. I'm using my mind. Probably, I'm up all day. So probably 18 hours out of a day, 16, 18 hours out of a day, I'm using my mind. And that's draining. So by the time you cook, by the time you take everybody to football practice, baseball practice, softball practice, swim practice, whatever it is everybody do, you don't want to do that. But if you work out, it'll help you. It'll give you a little bit of energy. So, I'm just trying to help y'all. Help the church. I know y'all don't want to hear that part, but it is what it is. So, Another thing too is I do something called Juice Plus. Usually don't like to throw in plugs, but Juice Plus, this is the Garden Blend. And then Juice Plus, this is the Vineyard Blend. And this blend right here has actually given people like 3 and 4 inches of hair growth. I took this blend for about 2 or 3 months, and I took some weave or some in my hair last year this time, and I took it out, and my husband was like, oh my God, your hair has really grown. I had been taking this and I actually forgot about it. So this has been proving this also helps with this blend right here, also helps with eczema. It also helps to clear up skin. Even in babies, if you got babies that have eczema, they come in capsules. So what you can do is you could take these capsules apart and you could put it in their milk. You could sprinkle it on their food, but it also comes in gummies. So for adults who order their supply, your children or grandchildren's supply comes for free. Juice Plus. It's Juice Plus. And I'll put up my site for this, because I actually have a site for it as well. So that helps with that. And then this is the Orchard Blend as well. So all of these, actually for those of you who have grandchildren and children who have ADD and ADHD, autism, asthma, and allergies, these products have been proven by pediatricians to significantly help with autism, ADHD, allergies, and asthma. My daughter takes it for asthma. She has sports-induced asthma, so this is what she takes it for. So we've been able to basically get her off of the steroidal inhaler, and now she just uses an emergency inhaler. So we've been able to get her off of that and this. But helps for a lot of my clients come to me with energy situations. I had a couple of hairstylists, and this is what they did. It just so happened one of the hairstylists' son had ADHD, so it worked out perfect for her. Low hemoglobin levels. So these are the things that help. Good vitamins. But before you start taking all them vitamins, you need to do a detoxing so that the vitamins can be absorbed into the gut. So let's run back through this about what we're going to do for these energy levels. 1, I want you eating brown rice at least 3 to 4 times a week. 2, I want you getting more sleep. So that means maybe take your butt to bed earlier than what you have, because whatever you're working on can wait. That's number 2. Number 3, I want you to deal with those sugar addictions, and I want you to consider whether or not you have a yeast problem in your gut and need to do a yeast detox, or you need to do a whole foods detox, which means you're going to have to go without meat for a period of time if you're going to do that. The other thing we talked about was doing cinnamon, the ACV juice drink. Yes, Miss Jackie, take all the notes. Yes, ma'am, and go bless somebody with them as well. The other thing that I want you to do is the ginger. Oh, that's what I got sidetracked with. With the ginger, you can get fresh ginger. You can grate it, put it in some water, put it with some mint, or you could do the ginger by itself, and then you can do infused water, make enough to last you all week, refreshing every morning. I used to do ginger drink every morning, and it really will bless your soul. Cruciferous vegetables, remember that's the cauliflower, the broccoli, the spinach, and the cabbage, watercress, avocados, and bananas. Okay, and fish at least 3 times a week. Some people don't like seafood, don't like fish, but for those of us that do, big ups for us, because I love salmon. I can eat salmon every day, truthfully. Garlic, I love garlic. I put garlic in everything. Some people don't like garlic. I'm going to tell you something. For those of you who ever have a toothache, garlic will bless your whole life. You take the raw garlic, put that garlic down in that tooth, because garlic is a natural antibiotic. Garlic is a natural antibiotic. It's a natural antibiotic and astringent. And what it does is when you put that garlic and you bite down on it in that tooth, that garlic juice goes down into that tooth. If you have a cavity and you can't quite get to the doctor and it's the middle of the night, then it goes down and it gets that, it deals with the infection that may be in the tooth, especially at the root. When detoxing, leave the meats, even the meats are good for you according to your blood type. Yes, I would recommend when you're detoxing to leave the meats, even if it's good according to your blood type. And if you're detoxing, even like we did a detox with 40 days of wellness. So what we did was, I did allow for them to do, first starting out, they could only have meat protein at one meal, and I think it was dinner. Then they went about 4 days without meat protein, and then in the end they could have meat protein at lunchtime, because we did a 10-day detox. So strictly whole foods, smoothies, juices, cruciferous vegetables, steamed. They did that, and they had their nuts and stuff like that, and they did their meat protein once a day. So that's what I recommend. And I want you to understand something about detox. Detox is not so much about losing weight. Detox is about getting your taste buds back together, so that you can really enjoy food and getting those cravings out of your system. Because my people was battling meat cravings, they was battling sugar cravings, they was battling all of that. So and I wish I could tell y'all that it's a magic pill. A lot of my clients drop out, they'll come to me and they'll kind of I won't say a lot. Let me take that back, because not a lot. A percentage of my clients will, come to me and they'll be like, oh, well, this is not what I thought it was. But I'm finding out people want magic. People really do. People don't realize that it's going to take work to get the results that they want. I don't eat meat much at all anyway. Yeah, Allison, I know you don't eat meat. Not you, because I know you don't eat pork, so I know you don't eat that much meat. But people want magic, and they don't want the work. So when they come to my program and they thought they was going, I had a magic wand, just because I'm prophetic and I'm a prophet, don't mean I deal in magic. I'm not a sorcerer. That ain't what I do. So the big thing about Jewels Wellness Concepts is sustainability. And every program that I offer you, every service that I offer you, is always going to give you the best possible tools and resources to be able to sustain yourself after that program is over. That's what that's about. Kind of like going to church. You should be able to go hear a sermon, hear a message, and go to Bible study, and be able to have a developmental program to be able to apply to your life, so that you could be successful the other 6 days of your life that you're not at church. Same way with the program. Tools and things, so that when you're not around me, when this program is over, you can still survive. You still know how to grocery shop. You still know how to cook. You still know how to do what you need to do for yourself. So once again, guys, join me. I'm going to be back Wednesday for midweek wellness manna. Don't know what I'm going to talk about this week, but that's at 5 o'clock. Thursday, we're coming back with Therapy Thursday. I missed 2 weeks because last week it was storming. We had a transformer that blew out. So, that was that. And so Focus Friday, I will do the oil list for Marlo, Jackie, and Rhonda. I will tag you all, and then you all others will see it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have not liked my page, Jewels Wellness Concepts, please go and do that, because eventually I'm not going to be doing these videos on my personal page. They will be housed there. I'll have my YouTube station up sometime this summer. My son is home from college, and he's the tech guru and all that kind of stuff that I know nothing about. So he's setting that up for me this summer as well. And then have some great new things that are going to be coming up. So go like my page, Jewels Wellness Concepts, and also you can go to my website. You can schedule a complimentary wellness analysis. You can schedule that for free, 30 minutes with me, to chop up your stomach issues, your heart issues, lifestyle issues. If you're stuck in a rut, and your lifestyles help you get out of a rut. So different things that we could talk about, but you can schedule that 30 minutes complimentary wellness analysis, and we go where you want to go in those 30 minutes to get a game plan together for you. So thank y'all so much. I'm also on Periscope at 12 midnight for Midnight Wellness Snack as well. So I really haven't gotten up and running with that, but that's going to be coming very, very soon. But everything else is pretty much consistent right now. So thank you all. And if you have any questions, you can email me at latanya@jewelswellness.org, or you can go to my website, jewelswellness.org. So God bless you guys. Yes, Miss Rhonda, it is my pleasure. Thank you for joining me. All right, guys, y'all have a great week, and y'all get some sleep tonight. Get some sleep.